Hey guys, welcome to my kitchen. Another big exciting day in my kitchen. Where are we going? What are we making? I'm thinking we're going to go to Cicero, New York. We're going to go to Nona Caroline Borio's kitchen. And I'll tell you, my grandmother was just the sweetest woman you ever would have met. She was about 4 feet 10 inches. Hey, Joey, nice to see you. You know, she spoke in this sweet little voice, broken English. And she had an electric stove, this small little kitchen, basically a piece of plywood and a rolling pin. And out of nothing, she could make a meal that was absolutely delicious. And just pasta, and I couldn't have had a better cook, chef, to teach me, to share with me, not only how to cook, but the blessings that we had, to be grateful. Also, how to work, levels of hospitality. She was just a phenomenal woman that I'm so blessed. Some people, you know, you don't get a chance to spend time with your grandparents. My grandmother lived until I was in my teens, so I really had a chance to get to know her and spend a lot of time with her. And there's all kinds of stories, but we're gonna stop to chat and we're gonna get cooking. So I know what you're thinking. You're on your edge of your seat. You're like, Joe, what are we gonna make? What are we gonna make? I'm gonna tell you what we're gonna make. We're gonna make a sweet potato. We're gonna make a sweet potato cheesecake. It is awesome. It is delicious. It's rich. It's velvety. It's sweet, along with the cheese and all the different spices. Oh, and I'm going to show you how to make a crust. Oh, it's going to kill you. This is an absolutely delicious recipe, and I'm really excited to bring you some of the Borio to your house, not only for the holidays, but anytime through the year. All right, what do you say? Enough chatting. Let's get cooking. Let's talk about ingredients. First thing you're going to need, kind of the center stage here, is your sweet potato, right? So we got yam. So I've got two, I'd say medium to large potatoes. You're going to want about 2 pounds. Each of these are close to a pound of sweet potato. And what you're going to do is you're going to bake them. You're going to peel them, bake them, and cube them, and then you're going to mash them. So it gives you about just shy of 2 cups of sweet potato puree is what we're looking to get. Now you could cube that, throw it in the microwave. You can peel it, throw it in the oven. It really doesn't matter, but you got to cook it down, make it soft, and then mash it down. So I put mine through a sieve, so it's nice, silky, and smooth. It is delicious. Oh, next you're going to need some cheese. So we're going to go mascarpone cheese. Oh, 24 ounces, about 1.5 pounds of mascarpone cheese, room temperature. I love that. Now you can use New York style cream cheese if you want. But in Italy, which they have that there, by the way, but in Italy, this is what traditionally it's made from. This is how Nona Caroline used to make it, okay? We're going to need 1/3 cup of sour cream. That's your cream. Now, why? You could use yogurt if you wanted to. Sour cream is going to give you that little tang, that cheesy flavor, which I like about mascarpone cheese. Gives you that little fermented, if you will, soured flavor that goes so great with the cheese and really adds to heightening the flavor. Now we're going to flavor all this, right? So you're going to want 1/4 teaspoon of nutmeg. Anybody watches our show, nutmeg is my favorite. You're going to want 1/2 teaspoon of cinnamon. Oh, it's literally Kris Kringle in a cup right there. I'm just telling you. You got 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla. Really good quality vanilla. Vanilla, you know, when you're a kid, and I'm sure you guys can share this with me, you don't realize how important sugar is until you have vanilla that's unsweetened, right? And you think it's going to taste so good. It's like, ugh. We're going to want 1/4 teaspoon of ginger, powdered ginger. Oh, that is good. Now we're going to need some sugar. You're going to need to sweeten this up. You're going to want 1 cup of granulated sugar. You'll need 3 whole eggs. I'm a really big fan of that range-free egg. It's going to be so much healthier for you. You're going to notice the yolk is really yellow-orange. You'll see that in Italy a lot, which just makes it delicious and fun. And essentially, that's our ingredient for the cheesecake portion. Now we got to make a crust. Now I'm going to share with you a recipe. It's simple and it's easy and it is awesome. So we want to do something different. Like a lot of cheesecakes will do a graham cracker. That's fine. But I'm gonna bring it in the Borio style here. So we're gonna add some nuts, and then we're gonna make a little batter, if you will, that holds it together, and it's great. So you can use any combination of nut that you want. I literally used almond, so I've got about 1/2 cup, a little bit more of almond. I've got a half a cup of walnut, and I've got a half of a cup of pecans. You can use all walnuts. You can use hazelnuts. You can do whatever you want. Now we're going to use about 3.5, 4 tablespoons of all-purpose flour. I've got a pastry flour here. That's really important. Brown sugar, I love brown sugar. So you're going to need about 1/3 of a cup of brown sugar, and you'll need a half of a cup of butter. I love the Kerrygold butter. It is just great, delicious, awesome, really high fat content, grass-fed, just delicious. Next, you know what you don't need, but it's absolutely delicious, is extra virgin Italian olive oil. And if you were going to add it to this recipe, you're going to want something that's just phenomenal quality, great flavor. Where would I go for that? Oh, I know. Hey, anyone new to our channel and anyone that's on our channel, we own a farm in Italy. It's right up north of the heel, Puglia, on that bump that sticks out. And I have 2 sons, Vito and Joe, and we actually co-op with a whole group of farms in that area to bring you some of the, what I consider, maybe I'm a little biased here, but some of the best extra virgin Italian olive oil you're ever going to have. It's grassy, earthy, peppery. And I know what you're thinking. You're like, Joe, my God, I would love to get some of that extra virgin olive oil. I would love for you to get it too. Guys, so just go to my webpage, Cooking Italian Joe, or Facebook page, Instagram, the description in YouTube. Click buy it now. We'll actually drop ship you a few bottles, a couple of cases, whatever you can handle, right to your front doorstep. I always think of it as taking a trip to Italy right in a bottle. A couple other things really quick. I've got here a cake pan. It's about 8 inches. I've got a cookie sheet, just in case we get any leak. I'm going to use a plate over the top. That'll prevent the top from browning or burning. It'll keep a lot of the heat in there. It's perfect. You're going to need to heat your oven. Preheat that oven about 325 degrees, and you're going to keep an eye on it. It'll take us about an hour to bake, to give you a heads up. All right, guys, enough chatting. Let's get cooking. I'm going to melt my butter because we need that butter melted, and I'm going to get my nuts ready to go to prep, and we're going to start making our crust. Quick, easy, and simple, guys. I'm going to take my pecans. I'm going to take my almonds. I'm going to take my walnuts, and we just got to chop these up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use an immersion blender. You don't have to. I'm going to put it on low, chop it up. So now I'm going to add that brown sugar. It was a little bit dry, so I added a little water and stirred it up with a fork. That's beautiful. Half a cup or a full stick of butter. So we got a full stick of butter in there. I'm going to give that just a little bit of a stir. So grab a whisk. You just want to eliminate any lumps in there. And then give it a really good stir. That's great. And now I'm going to go ahead and add my flour. So I'm just going to sprinkle in a little bit of that flour, and that'll absorb a little bit of the butter. It'll give it a nice crunch as it cooks. And I've got here about 3 tablespoons in there. I don't necessarily always use that. It just depends on where we're at. Yeah, we'll probably use it all. That's beautiful. And again, give this a good stir. You're going to pour your crust in the bottom of that cake pan. Just give it a little tap on the counter. Now I'm going to throw this in the oven, and we're going to put it in there no more than 10 minutes. We want to check it. It'll bubble. It'll drop. It'll expand a little when it's hot. But I'm looking for a pre-crunch. I'm looking for creating a nice toasted crunch. And when you toast this, what it does is it roasts those nuts. So the walnuts, the almonds, the pecans, they'll give up these oils. Oh, it's going to be so delicious. This is so I don't burn it, and I'm going to put it for 10 so we don't forget because we're going to get so excited. Now we're going to mix our cheese, our custard in here. A couple of quick strategies on this to make it come out delicious. I'll tell you the first one, which is just awesome, almost guaranteed to make your cheesecake come out fantastic, molto deleccio, is when you subscribe to our channel. So make sure you hit that subscribe. I'm just trying to come up with a transition. Hit that subscribe button, give us a thumbs up, hit the notification bell. We've got recipes that are coming out on a regular basis. We got tips on traveling. We've got a lot of activities going on the farm with our blog. So anything we got going on, it'll come right to your notification box. And it means the world to me when you subscribe to the channel. Makes you part of the Cooking Italian with Joe family. As far as the olive oil goes, I can hear it being shipped, so you already ordered that. Okay. All right, so what do you say? Let's get making our cheese filling. First thing I want to do is cream my eggs. So go ahead and get your eggs in there. Now, before you do anything else, make sure you don't have any shell in there. All your eggs are healthy. Now I'm going to take my 1 cup of granulated sugar. I'm also going to take my vanilla. Now, guys, I'm going to bring it over to the KitchenAid. And what we're looking to do here, guys, is cream our eggs. So I don't want to incorporate a ton of air in them. So I'm going to put it on a 2 or 3. And I want to get this so it's nice and creamy and a little bit on the fluffy side. Guys, it's been about 2 or 3 minutes. You see how beautiful creamy pale yellow that is. That's gorgeous. That almost creates like a custard. Now the rest of this is easy. We've got our teaspoon of cinnamon, quarter teaspoon of nutmeg, quarter teaspoon of powdered ginger, third of a cup of sour cream, 2 pounds of our sweet potato puree, just under 2 cups. And last is our mascarpone cheese. So we got 24 ounces, about 1.5 pounds. Everything's in. Now we're looking to just do a gentle mix. We're going to put it at a level 2 for about a minute, minute and a half. All right, so I'm going to shut this off. And that's about it, guys. The rest of it will just scrape out. Again, you don't want to put too much air in there because everything will collapse on you. We're just waiting for that crust. I had to add about 5 more minutes. So we're looking at about 15 minutes. I'll show you what that looks like. I just, out of the safety of this video, I don't know what safety has anything to do with it, and to make sure everything's coming out, I just got to do a little taste of this. Oh yeah, that's what I'm talking about. I could eat that bowl right there. Here's our crust. You see how it expanded in there, which is great, but you're going to see there's a lot of bubbles in the middle and a lot of bubbles on the outside. That's exactly what I want. I want it just like that. Now I got to let this cool about 10 minutes to 15 minutes, and then we're going to pour a batter on. One little tip I want to give you is just scrape around the outside really well, and that's going to make sure when we pull this out, this doesn't stick. And now, guys, I push everything back, so I know it's not stick. I don't want the batter to get in the groove, so I push everything back. Now we're ready to put the batter in. Just go ahead and pour it right on top. Spread it out so it's nice and even. And don't worry about it sticking. We'll run a knife around the outside. It usually will shrink. Now I want the top to stay nice and fresh and beautiful. So I'm going to go ahead and throw a plate over the top. And don't worry about steam. It'll leak out of the side. No big deal. We're going to throw this in for about an hour. I check it about every 20 to 30 minutes just to make sure everything's going okay. Sometimes the oven's got its own little personality in there, and certain areas get a little hotter than others. Plan on at least an hour, and we're definitely going to do that clean toothpick test. We want to make sure if I put a knife in there, it's coming out relatively clean. Talk to you guys in an hour. Oh, that's good. It's hot. It is absolutely delicious. So what I want to do is show you how to prep this. We're going to let it cool. Favorite time, I mean, I got to do it. I don't want to do it. It's a burden, but then it's taste time. Cake's been out for about 10 minutes, so I'm just going to go around gently. Now I'm going to let this cool for a few minutes, and I'm going to remove it from the pan. So this is still a little bit warm. I'm going to pull that pan up. Okay, guys, I took that cake. I put it in the refrigerator here for a few minutes to speed things up. In the meantime, I just want to add a little something for decoration or for presentation. So I'm going to grab some of my almonds here. I'm going to give them a nice little chop. Okay, cake's done, guys. I'm just going to take some nuts. You can put some ganache, you know, make a little caramel, whatever you want. I'm just going to do some nuts around the outside. I like these because it gives it a nice texture. Now, guys, full disclosure, this puppy's still a little warm. And again, you could use some whipped cream, which is always nice. Today, I'm just going to use it without the whipped cream. Look at that, guys. Favorite time, taste time. Just gorgeous. Look at that crust. Look at that. Hey, guys, I wish I could do it for you. Is that gorgeous or what? Oh, open up. Here we go. Hey, this is the toughest part of my job right here. It's truly, it's sweet potato butter. You get the aroma of the nuts. Nocha, oh yeah, it's gorgeous. And then the cream, the cinnamon, the nutmeg, the ginger. The texture is phenomenal because you're getting a crunch from the almond, and then you're getting the almond, the walnut, the pecan, and just smacks you full of, you know, that delicious flavor of the sweet potato. And then all the spices just hit the tongue. And then cheese is so good. It's so smooth. It's so silky. It mixes so well with the creaminess, the custard-like consistency. And then you're getting little chunks of nuts from the fresh nut I put on top. And then the nut in the crust. One more. I'm thinking a latte, but it's late. But a latte would go great with this. This is one of my favorite recipes. And you know what's so great? Not to get emotional, it just puts me back to be 12, 14 years old in Nona Caroline's kitchen, just tasting something. You know, you walk in, you get the aroma of life and passion and food, and it's just fantastic. And I can hear her right now, Joey. She'd usually make me a hot chocolate, though I would get a coffee once in a while in a mocha pot. I would get that once in a while. Or sometimes she'd make a hot chocolate and give me a little shot of coffee, you know, like you need sugar and caffeine when you're 12. You're already bouncing off the wall. Hey guys, thanks so much for joining me in my kitchen. What a great recipe. What a great time. Hit the subscribe button. Give me a thumbs up. Notification bell, critical. Be part of the family here. Also, guys, remember, hit some of the platforms. Grab yourself a few bottles of Vito and Joe's extra virgin Italian olive oil. Truly taking a trip to Italy right in a bottle. Warms my heart. It's holiday season. Boy, I'll tell you, there's nothing than giving out a whole case or two just to friends and family member. Wouldn't that be great? And we do have some discounts on bulk purchases. And guys, last but not least, just remember this, you know, once a week, a couple times a month, get around the table with your family and friends, celebrate your heritage, whatever that is, doesn't matter. And last but not least, and I think the most important part, you know, is this. You're going to set some traditions of love. They're going to last you a lifetime. I know they did for me. Hey guys, from my kitchen to yours, until next week, mwah, buon appetito.